As Channel 2's John Pruitt prepares to retire, we have been looking back at his 46-year career as a journalist in Atlanta. He has not only covered the big news stories, but he has hosted countless Action News primetime specials. John's experiences have taken him across the state, the nations, and sometimes the world.
John went in search of a mummy's identity.
It is a fascinating mystery that stretches from 21st century Atlanta all the way to Egypt, the very cradle of civilization. One of the great experiences of my career, going to Cairo and Luxor to follow this fascinating story of the missing mummy, the mummy of Ramses I, great pharaoh of Egypt. That was one of the great thrills of my life.
For another primetime special, he traveled to Argentina to search out the largest dinosaur ever found. He traveled the East Coast to track the migration of right whales to Georgia waters.
But the news is not all bad. There are more reasons to be increasingly optimistic about the survival of Georgia's whales.
Or he could be found on a Georgia beach in the wee hours of the morning, waiting for a loggerhead turtle to lay her eggs.
With its 3 transmitters now firmly attached, it's time for this turtle to head back to the ocean.
Georgia's hidden treasures provided experiences not only for the audience, but also that John will never forget.
Zip lining in Carroll County at the historic Banning Mills. That was a thrill. Being at Tallulah Gorge. Who can ever get tired of that wonderful vista, that spectacular place? Looking at some of the mysteries of Georgia, the Fort Mountain Wall. Who built that wall? Why is that wall there?
The beauty of Georgia's coastline also has always inspired John, and he has returned to some barrier islands through the decades.
Yes, Cumberland will be spared the bulldozers of the developers.
And today, almost 4 decades later, the question still remains. How do you preserve the unique wilderness character of Cumberland Island while inviting more of the public to come in and experience it?
And while some places don't change much, it seems John Pruitt doesn't change much, no matter what his age.
They tell me I haven't changed a bit. And I quickly point out, oh, but I have. You've just watched it happen gradually over the years.
No, you have not changed. So this career has afforded you just some incredible opportunities.
You know, you watch that tape, we have the greatest job in the world. I mean, it's just wonderful that we can go to so many places around the world and cover things. And I'll tell you, Carol, one of the things that's meant the most to me is Georgia's Hidden Treasures, being able to visit places in our state and to help viewers understand what we have, both in terms of natural beauty and in terms of history. It's all combined, and I will continue doing those specials for WSB, and I'm very happy about that. But tomorrow is my last day, my last 6 o'clock newscast.
What's going through your mind now? And I mean, you must be looking back on these decades that you've been covering the news, and what's going through your mind? Well,
a lot of people have used the term bittersweet, and it is that, more sweet than bitter, but it's been wonderful to reminisce. It's been a little self-indulgent, I'll confess, but it's fun to think back of 46 years, the scope of Atlanta history, the people I've covered, the events I've covered, and the bond with the viewers, which has been special to me, and the bond with my coworkers like you and so many others here, the fine professionals I work with. I'm going to miss that daily contact, but as I say, I'll still be active, still be doing reports now and then for Channel 2, and I'm looking forward to that. I would hate to quit cold turkey.
You never seemed to ever lose your passion. You came in every day, raring to go. How did you keep that going, and why did you love this job so much?
You walk into a newsroom, the Channel 2 newsroom, you feel the electricity, you feel the excitement. What's going to happen that day? What's going to be on the news that day? You see these fine professionals, young people and some older veterans, working together harmoniously, all doing their job so well to create that newscast. And that excitement, that electricity of a newsroom, and you know well what I'm talking about, is something that's irreplaceable, and that keeps me excited, into it, and feeling young. And I do feel young, and I'll still be watching and missing that excitement of watching the Channel 2 team put the newscast together, but I'll certainly be watching the product on the air along with the rest of you.
Well, we're going to miss you a lot, but we're looking forward to you coming back for the Hidden Treasures. Thank you.
During his 46-year career, Channel 2 anchor John Pruitt has watched Atlanta evolve into a major international city. He has covered countless stories as a reporter and anchor. Tonight, as he nears retirement, Monica Pearson looks at some of his most memorable big news stories.
Medical units are still backed up.
There was blood, a trail of blood going down the hallway.
Series of shootings in Buckhead today. Got to be dispassionate and calm, because I think the viewers expect that. When the day trading shootings occurred in Buckhead, and there was carnage, and they were looking for the gunman, and it was a developing story, and we were live on the air for 5 straight hours. There is never a time when you need to be calm or more. You need to be a reliable source of information.
As a reporter and anchor, John Pruitt has witnessed all types of tragedies and devastation.
It's not until you come to something like the Nimitz Freeway that you see the destruction.
From massive earthquakes in California.
This is still an unlivable neighborhood.
To devastating floods in Albany, Georgia.
Who killed Yusuf Bell?
The pain a community endures is sometimes overwhelming. Such was the case during the Atlanta child murders of the late 70s. Atlanta sizzled with tension before the arrest of Wayne Williams.
We're finding dead bodies of children, seemingly almost every month. The tensions began to build. The fear was palpable. The city was a tinderbox in those days. Monica, tomorrow marks 1 month since the terror attacks on
John particularly remembers his trip to New York a month after 9/11.
That way for a long, long time to come.
He had a powerful reaction off camera at the World Trade Center site.
As we were leaving, we were told to put the cameras down and step aside. And they ushered in a group of survivors of 9/11, family members, kids, wives. Some had teddy bears, and I saw the faces, and I just about lost it. It may be the most overpowering moment I've ever experienced. So yeah, we definitely feel the emotion.
John has journeyed to far-flung places such as war-torn Beirut, the Great Wall of China, and the pyramids of Egypt. But he's also witnessed and covered the great growth in Atlanta for more than 46 years.
I think one of the continuing threads of my career has been the evolution of Atlanta from an aspiring southern town to the megalopolis we see today. And it has been a constant evolution.
One magic moment for the city, the Olympic announcement.
To the city of Atlanta.
And there was bedlam. People were hooping and hollering and screaming and yelling, and there was just absolute euphoria. And I have to tell you, this objective journalist was yelling and screaming with everybody else because it was such a wonderful moment. And you treasure those moments that come so seldom when everyone is on the same page.
Well, John is off tonight to attend his own retirement dinner. He will be back right here tomorrow on Channel 2 Action News at 6 for one final newscast behind the anchor desk. You will not want to miss some of his most memorable moments with Monica Pearson. And we sincerely hope that you will join us for that event tomorrow night at 6.